Great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Wednesday, August 26th, the year of our Lord 2026, 9:11 a.m. on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. Broadcasting today from the United States of America, this is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he, the United States of America, the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. We've lost them, but pay tribute today. David Mason, Peckville, Joseph Kilcullen, Scranton, John Zelenka, Ashley, and Samuel Ristagno, Luzerne, formerly of Pittston. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our amazing, irreplaceable, and profoundly wise founding fathers who knew that government should not be and set about to make sure it could not be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things. Because they understood, after study of all of human history, that government power means less freedom, less liberty, and less choice. They also knew that government power, because of human nature, would be abused. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared by law to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups, couldn't be controlled by government or government officials, because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, whether they use it to lie or not, because we know we can ignore them. We're free to do it. Now, because they were armed with these freedoms, and only because of that fact, these Americans, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, many of them rejects from around the world, they and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose. Unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, it will always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so, we gavel to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our total, immersive, immovable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here for the balance of this singular, extraordinary morning. Well, we lament the loss of two people in particular. Of course, Dolly Parton. Very happy that we found some music of hers. We'll play it through the program. She was great. She was sweet. And do you know that she was born one of 11 children in a one-room shack? You think they're got to be making it up. I mean, she was the American dream. And I heard a commentator talking about this, and it is so true. I've never heard anybody talk about the French dream, the Iranian dream, the Russian dream, the Chinese dream. No, it's only the American dream. And man, did she live it. She was just always seemed so incredibly sweet. So the tributes that are pouring out for her, great. Love it, and we'll play our tiny little part of that. By the way, yesterday, I went down to the wake for our friend Joe Barna, and Vince Sardo and I went down, and he was 96. this Korean combat veteran who we had on a number of times. And I still urge you to go to the Bob Cordaro Show on TV and look for the episode with Joe Barna. He was that fascinating, that interesting, that good of a storyteller. So we went down today, and he's going to be buried today. Got to say hello to the family and all that kind of thing. And so I said it to them, and I said it to Vince, and I said to myself, I almost can't believe he's gone. And he was 96, and we wanted more. This program, by the way, it's live stream on YouTube. You go YouTube, Bob Cordaro Show, WILK, brought to you by Roach Supply, the premier bath and kitchen supplier in Northeast Pennsylvania. 75 years in business because they're great at what they do. They're fair, they're honest, all those things. 3 generations led by veteran 96-year-old Ron Roach. Visit roachsupply.com today, ROCHE, or go to their stores in Honesdale or their sister store in South Abington Township, Chapman Supply. Good stuff. In any event. Yeah. Dolly. She was, and I hate to say this, but I mean, my parents are mid to late 80s. She was only 80. In any event, only 80. And so we lost her a little too soon, but God, that's one thing I said. You look at Joe Barna, you look at Dolly Parton, and they left their mark. They left an incredible mark for what they did and who they were. And I guess that's all we could ask, whether you're here for 5 years or 95 years. And they both did it. So tribute to both. 9:18 on the Bacardo Jewelers Watch. That means we got to take a break. Let's hear from our great sponsors. A little history, a little music, and then more on the Bob Cordaro Show. Murph tells us the Kinks. They released their hit, You Really Got Me in the U.S., this date, 1964. And 1910, you heard it. Thomas Edison demonstrates for reporters an improved version of his kinetophone, a device for showing a movie with synchronized sound. And 20 years later, well, maybe a little more than that. Yeah, 20 years later, talkies became the deal. Amazing. Thomas Edison and his team were incredible. I've never seen anything like it. All right, let's go right to the blower here. Because of the name only, and this is Shower Door Guy from the Lehigh Valley. Hey, Shower Door Guy.
Hey, BC, what's up, buddy?
How you doing? Hey, we got Road Supply sponsoring the live stream, so you fit right in.
Here we go. So, Bob, so was it Larry who was saying about the rails, no trucks on the road? Was it Larry? Was that him?
Yeah, he exaggerates for a point, but it was Larry from Plymouth. And
okay, so
yeah.
Listen, Bob, I got to tell you, he changed my life. So the first thing I did when I got home off the road yesterday, and I've been a truck driver for 25 years, and I've been married for 30 years. I went and I took a course on sarcasm, which was great. And then I called my wife, and I told her, I said, honey, I know I made $120,000 last year driving a truck, but I quit because of Larry. He gave me inspiration. He really gave me inspiration. So, Bob, what I did is I enrolled because Larry said at 56 years old, I can go out and get another job, man. I could do it. So here's what I did. I enrolled in HVAC. It's going to take me 18 months, but here's the good news. I applied at Sheets for $14 an hour. I got hired. They gave me 50 cents more an hour to sweep the parking lot. And I called my mortgage company, and they said, bro, that's great, man. When can we foreclose on your house? Wow. And Bob, the best thing is my name tag. It's so great. D-bag. Oh, I'm so thrilled.
Now, Larry had a sleepless night already from the response from our first truck driver. Now he's not going to sleep for a week.
Good.
No,
Bob, I was so heated up. I was driving up through Virginia, and I just kept, come on. Listen, I passed, 25,000, 30,000 trucks in a week? I swear. Like, are you kidding me? Come on with this crap. Oh, my God.
Listen, it comes by truck. Everything you use comes by truck, period.
Yes.
And we love the fact that you're the shower door guy, but we love the fact that you're a trucker. That's why we do Trucker Tuesdays every so often, to acknowledge our guys and gals on the road. It's a big deal.
Bob, I have the Odyssey app, I could tell you, and I talked to you maybe like 3 weeks ago. I never miss your show, brother. I listen to it every day. If I'm in Kentucky, if I'm in the Midwest, wherever, I never miss your show.
Well, now you got to get it. If you leave trucking for some crazy reason,
I'm going to be working at Sheets, Bob.
Well, no, you got to go work at Road Supply because you're shower door guy. They're the premier bath and kitchen supplier. You got to shower. They got to have a guy named shower door guy.
Yeah, right. And you know what? My brother graduated with. I'm sorry, it just blanked me out right now. The guy with all the restaurants.
Basiliga.
I'm blanking out.
Johnny Basiliga?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother graduated with him.
Neat.
Yep. He said he's just such a great guy. He said he worked hard, just like built everything from the ground up.
Literally from the ground up. Yep.
Yep. Just a great guy. But Bob, thank you for taking my call. And hey,
Bona
Larry.
fortuna. Bona
Yeah.
fortuna on your new career, shower door guy.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, Larry, get some rest, buddy.
All right. Thank you so much.
See you,
Appreciate
Bob.
it. All right, man. Well, Larry, he stakes out positions. And it gets people thinking, and you can't, just look at, we need truck drivers, period. And I don't want automated trucks on the highways myself. I don't think I'd be really excited to drive along an automated truck. And I've told you, my father was a Teamster when I was like 3 and 4 years old, and I've always wanted to be a truck driver. I was thwarted in my efforts when I was in prison. I signed up for a trucking class, and the newspaper here printed that I was in a trucking class. Like, oh, that's real news. These horrible newspapers were subjected to. And the warden, a pussy, true pussy, I never got to call him that to his face because I never met him, but he canceled the program. So I got my permit for a CDL, but never got to get in the rig itself. And by the way, your tax dollars, they had rented the truck already. They had rented a trailer already. But because of a pussy warden, they canceled the program. So there we go. Somebody said, Bob, containers are shipped on rails all throughout the country. They arrive at the yards and are placed on chassis over the road for over-the-road trucks to deliver them to their destinations. I was in distribution for 30 years. This is nothing new. I'm with you. No, Larry gets something in his mind and, he runs with it. And my mother was chiming in about pollution. I don't think anybody is concerned about air pollution except in maybe areas like Los Angeles once in a while. We've cleaned up our act dramatically. And by the way, that is a separate issue from the climate lunatics who lie about it. The Al Gores and the Democrat Party, for example. We want clean water, clean air, and we're getting it with trucks. So let's keep forging on. All right, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll come back. We have our first Veterans Tribute of the day. We'll return. Our Veterans Tribute today, of course, we're going to remember Joe Barna, but it is brought to you by our man John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. The cornerstone of the Basiliga Hospitality Group, 3 great bar restaurants you have to experience, and I'm telling you, you will enjoy them. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. The Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the Great Trips Park section of Scranton. The Queen City Tavern, right on the main drag in downtown Oliphant. And coming in September, the Coney Island Lunch, the reimagined tradition, right on Lackawanna Avenue, accompanied by Reagan's Ice Cream Shop, named after John's daughter. Casual dining and drinking at its best. Joseph Kilcullen. He was 86 when we lost him July 28th. His family says Joseph lived a life defined by service, resilience, compassion, and an unwavering love for his family. He was from Scranton. He was preceded in death by his wife and the love of his life, Brenda Stratemeyer Kilcullen, as well as siblings William, Robert, Mary Alice, and Martin Kilcullen, all of Scranton. Joseph proudly served this country in the United States Army during the Korean War era. He carried with him a deep sense of patriotism and dedication because of that throughout his life. Joe cherished his family. He survived by 4 children, 4 stepchildren, 15 grandchildren, and 15 great-grandchildren, not to mention nieces and nephews galore. What a legacy. One of Joe's greatest accomplishments was his remarkable recovery journey. He celebrated 44 years of sobriety, and throughout those years, he devoted himself to helping others find hope, healing, and strength in their own lives. Longtime friend of Bill W., said Joe generously shared his experience, strength, and hope with countless individuals, serving as a mentor, counselor, sponsor, and friend. Joseph Kilcullen will also be remembered for his wonderful sense of humor and playful spirit. Joe was a natural jokester who loved making people laugh. His quick wit, warm smile, and ability to find humor even in difficult times brought comfort and joy to everyone who knew him. His slogan was one day at a time. He had a special love for the New Hampshire seacoast, and that's where his funeral services were back on August 12th. He devoted, instead of having flowers and other things, he wanted to support local small businesses and community establishments. Joseph Kilcullen, our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the gang at Montage Mountain Resort, the beautiful water park, along with their great new arcade in the lodge. They're at full gear, and today is gorgeous and perfect. Mostly sunny, high 82. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 65. And because the water park's so close, you can just, okay, let's go. And you go. It's that close. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, humid with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. Storms can bring flooding, downpours, and here it is. Yeah, they're always giving advice, aren't they? I don't know why, but they do. We know these things about storms, don't we? But it'll be tomorrow, high 80, low 64. Friday, clouds yielding to some sun with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. Humid, high 82, low 56. Saturday, less humid with sunshine. A few clouds. A beautiful start to the weekend, high 79, low 58. Sunday, humid with sunshine and a few clouds. High 80, low 66. All in all, perfect water park weather at Montage, where it's 64 degrees right now. It's National Dog Day, and our man Larry, we knew we'd get a response, and so I figured we'd replace his normal theme song with Who Let the Dogs Out. Larry, how are you, man?
Hey, Bob, I just turned the radio on about 5 minutes ago, and I heard my name mentioned. That once I get something in my head.
You were listening, in other words.
No, I just turned it on, and I heard you say that. What was it about?
Well, it's about this, you're saying about let's have more trains and less trucks.
Oh, okay. I figured that's
And
what
the truck
it was about.
drivers are calling in, and they're saying you're crazy.
Okay.
Shower door guy said.
There's no question about that, but
Well,
I might be right anyway.
Shower door guy said he got a new job since he said his life was transformed by your statement. And that he got a new job, and he's working at Roach Supply as their shower door guy. But he was making a good buck as a trucker, but he sacrificed because of your advice.
Okay, that sounds really good. I changed one person's mind.
All right, now listen to me. You got this China Clipper issue.
Okay, yeah, that's what I called
hanging over
about,
us.
Bob.
I figured you got some information.
Yes, okay. Well, you said it was made by Pan Am?
No. Pan Am had the Clipper. I forget what the heck they called it, but it was called the Clipper, and I think it was a McDonnell Douglas plane. It was
no, Bob. It
would land in the water.
Bob, it was built by the Glenn Martin Company for $417,000.
Wow.
It had a Martin M130. It was a Martin M130, and it had 3,000 horsepower McDonnell Douglas engines in it.
Okay.
And but that's what it was. And Bob, you know who was the technical advisor on that?
And who ran it? Pan Am Airlines, right?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know who was the technical advisor? Charles Lindbergh.
Really? How about that?
And he actually flew the plane.
He knew his game.
And,
That's neat.
And Bob, I'll bet you didn't know this. Charles Lindbergh, well, do you know what year he flew the Atlantic?
Off the top of my head, no. 20s?
27.
Yeah.
Okay, but in 28, Bob, he wanted to go to Detroit, so he got on a plane in New York, and it was going to head for Detroit, but he got caught in a bad fog, and he had to make an emergency landing.
He was flying.
Yeah, and do you know where he landed for that emergency landing?
Not here.
The Coxton Yard in Duryea.
Really?
Yes.
How about that? I used to own a tower site down there, the old 1550 AM tower site, the old WARD. How about that, Coxton Yards?
Oh, wow. But, Bob, what do you know about the Spruce Goose?
Oh, I remember the Spruce Goose, Howard Hughes' invention.
Do you know why they called it the Spruce Goose?
Well, it was made of wood.
Yeah, it was made, but it wasn't made of spruce.
No.
It was made of birch.
Yeah, birch.
And Bob, it wasn't. The whole plane wasn't made of wood. The outer skin was, but the frame and everything was metal.
Because it was so huge that they
Bob,
needed to make
Bob,
it of a lighter material. Yeah.
Yes, Bob. It had a 325-foot wingspan.
I saw the Spruce Goose once when I was living in L.A.
That's what I was going to ask you, because isn't it in a museum in California?
It's in a huge, huge hangar, Long Beach, California.
With all kind of other planes.
I remember it being by itself, but
okay. Well,
this is ancient history. It's over 40 years ago.
Yeah, it's in there with P-51 Mustangs and all different kinds, some German planes, Messerschmitts and everything, and. But I'd love to see. I'd love to go inside of it, Bob. It looks like you were in a building when you're inside of it. My God!
It was truly massive. Although they sold it as so big that I remember my reaction was muted because I said, "Geez, I thought it was going to be as big as the Empire State Building," but it was huge, massive.
Yeah, but Bob, Howard Hughes only flew that plane one time.
Correct, just to prove it would fly.
Yeah, he had a contract with the Army or the military, and they they said, well, you got to get that thing in here. And so he did. He went 70 feet off the water for 1 mile.
Yeah.
And but Bob, do you know what else Howard Hughes did?
A lot.
Well, he did a lot. But there was he made a movie because he was into movies too, and he made a movie, The Outlaw, and it was about Billy the Kid. And Jane Russell was in that movie, Bob, and he designed Jane Russell's bra.
Now there's a labor of love. No, I knew that story.
Yeah, but then Bob, later in life, he went nutty.
Well, Larry, we got to let you go, but did you sleep last night?
Oh yes, I did sleep last night.
I didn't want you. I didn't want you all in a lather,
Bob. That's why I didn't call you. I got up at 9:30.
All right, my man. Larry, always a pleasure, my man.
Okay, me too. You take it easy, Bob.
And do you like this new theme song? Maybe.
Which one is it?
Who Let the Dogs Out?
No.
It's National Dog Day, though. We had to play it.
Oh, okay. Who let the dogs out? Yeah, okay. That sounds good.
All right. Larry,
Okay,
thank
Bob.
you. Always a pleasure, my man. Larry in Plymouth. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Neat song. Sad. This date, 1967, Murph tells us Bobby Gentry had the #1 hit with Ode to Billy Joe. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Somebody texts in, Bob, people forget that Biden had the solution. Learn to code. Yeah, I know. You better talk about a genuinely stupid person. You're talking about Joe Biden. Like, genuinely dumb. And I've watched his son, Hunter. And by the way, I heard the exact opposite about his son, Beau, the late Beau Biden. You watch his son Hunter and you say, man, these are really dumb white trash people. Frightening. By the way, somebody takes it, Bob, let shower door guy know that Wawa is starting at $15 per hour ALTS. Don't be tempting me. That's more than I get paid. Somebody else, Bob, I get what Larry's saying. Having a bit more freight being handled by train to go long distances would help a tiny bit. Give him a break. I give him a break. I love him. You know that. Bulldog and I have had lunch and everything with him. We've enjoyed his company. And he's a pleasurable guy. Very smart. Very smart. Very enjoyable. That's why we give him a theme song and all of that because, he's pretty neat. But, yeah, my man Mark the Shark reminding me that it's National Dog Day, and that's why we played Who Let the Dogs Out. The sweet panda, my Cordaro Jewelers watch, is telling me we're headed up to 950. We'll be back. Procol Harum. This date, 1967. He moved into the top 10 charts at number 10 with their hit Whiter Shade of Pale. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. And we got Billy from Carbondale on the blower. Billy, how are you?
Hey, Bobby. Que sucede? Peace be with you, brother.
Yes.
I'm up here from North Carolina. You played the song of Billy Joe jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Yes.
I have a son named Billy Joe. He's older, 45 now. But when I was raising him, I was ready to jump off the Tallahatchie Bridge. You know what that's like a kid. Wanted to say hi to you. Good to hear your voice on the radio. Love what you're talking about because I'm to the right and I'm a conservative. Your show is great. It's so good to hear you on the radio. I used to hand out pamphlets for you up in Carbondale when you were running. You were a hell of a good guy. You still are a hell of a good guy. It's good
Billy.
to hear your voice. And I'm glad you got rid of that hippie with the long hair that was such a – well, we won't go there. Let's just
let's stay in the positive.
Because I used to call him and abuse him like he abused everybody that was right with him. But that's
He's
okay.
my neighbor now. Corbett's my neighbor. He walks by my house
God's
every day.
people. You know what? He wasn't a bad guy.
Not a bad guy. That's right.
I respected that he spoke his mind. But I love all God's people. Now I got old and mellow. I don't use a baseball bat, or I don't like punch no more. I try to pray for them and ask God to protect me. If somebody's got a gun pointed at me, please God, don't let them shoot me. But other than that, Bobby, nice to hear your voice. I just wanted to call. Wish you angels around you, blessings for your family, and may you continue to go forward in life doing the good things you do. Thanks,
Billy, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed you calling. Thank you so much, my man.
All right, brother. Peace be with you. God bless.
I mean, how many times could you have your day made? That's why I love hanging around with you guys. I make my day every day like multiple times in just this 3 hours. It's really something else. But so thank you, Billy. Billy up in Carbondale visiting us. He was loaded for bear. He was ready. But actually, just good to hear his voice again. Somebody texts in, Bob LTS, back at you. I'm like you regarding data centers, but a guest on Gutfeld last night had a great point about AI and how if China gets ahead of us, they'll hack everything we have here in the USA and can shut anything down and hold us hostage. I've turned the corner, and we need them, says Slick. All right. And I for some reason, not because of Gutfeld, although I watched a little bit of it last night, but we absolutely, positively, definitively need data centers because we need the infrastructure for AI to be based in the United States. Do we need them in Archbald? See, there's the question. The problem we have is if you've got idiots like Billy Gaughan and now Shapiro, the flip-flopping flounder, who are taking this issue to win votes instead of illuminate, heat rather than light. As was explained to me, somebody from the industry, we had him on during the Tech Bridge conference, and I wish I remembered his name to give him the credit. He said there's a lot of these projects that aren't good. They shouldn't be near houses. They shouldn't be near neighborhoods. And I'm okay, I get it. But we need data centers. We have to have in this country the infrastructure for AI. Or you're right, we lose, Slick. We cannot outsource data centers. And I've told you the other half of this, which is they're going to develop data centers which use less water, create less heat, and use less power. That's coming. Guaranteed. But the fact is we cannot stop building them in the United States because they've got to be ours, under our control. We cannot outsource data centers to other countries that we are not in control of. So you nailed it, Slick. I'm with you. Somebody's texted in, just watched a businessman on Fox Business who's going to build data centers in parking lots with solar panels and spread a 300 megawatt center into 300 locations across the town. Big, massive centers, problem solved. They're going to solve the problem. But the key thing here, don't listen to the charlatans on the left who are trying to demagogue the issue, who are making the developers evil, who are making data centers evil because it serves their political purposes. Page and all the rest. It's all. Please notice the leaders of this are left-wing goofballs who can give two spits about you. They care about themselves and their political careers. That's it. So separate fact from fiction. Know that we need them. Know that new technologies will be coming, and they have to be in the United States. They don't have to be in Archibald in your neighborhood. That's the important thing to remember. So when a community fights against it rationally, I've got no problem with that. You got to protect your house, your property values, all of that. By the way, back to that point, I don't think solar panels are the answer to their power issues, but that's another story. Chinese solar panels being the answer to, because, and here's why. We have an opportunity to remake, through data center development, the power grid, which is aging and dilapidated. And this is the time to do both at once. Very important for the sake of the country. We need data center infrastructure, and we need to use that to rebuild and renew our power grid. Period. There it is. 10:02 on my Ricardo Jewelers watch. Let's hear the news. We'll come back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Great good morning, everyone. 10:07 a.m. on a beautiful Wednesday, August 26th. It's 10:07. I'm at Ricardo Jewelers Watch. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor, with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga hospitality group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like the veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today, thanks to John. Like Joseph Kilcullen of Scranton, Jack Zelinka of Ashley, Sam Ristagno of Luzerne, formerly of Pittston, and David Mason of Peckville. The United States of America, the greatest country ever. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order with the help of Dolly Parton, the late, great Dolly Parton, our meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising that our deep and unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here, and reminding you that the FDA has just approved this program as idiot medicine. Yes, it's a proven cure for idiocy to actually listen to the show. Remember that, and hey, we could turn things around for you, just like Shower Door Guy. Thank you, Dolly. Yeah, she's really just a sweetheart, you know? It's one of the things about her. And I think of her and then go completely differently. Dolly Parton and Joe Barna. I'm sure they were never mentioned in the same sentence before. But man, is this country amazing? Isn't it amazing? Incredible. It truly is. Let's go to Bill from Pittston to start off the hour. Bill, how are you, my man?
Doing good. You sound like you're really good. You're effervescent.
Thank you. I always am. When I'm hanging around with you guys, I'm always, I go home, and by the way, when I'm done with this show, I started to think, well, I'm getting old, you know. I'm exhausted when this show is over.
I believe it. Yeah, you put together a terrific show. I mean, like I said, you learn things, you're entertained, you got it all together, well planned.
And we got a lot of people helping.
Everybody.
A lot of people helping, including the Bulldog, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I was listening to you about the data centers, and I've been looking into it as you do. We have to have these data centers.
Yes.
It's just like you said, China. I heard China's behind some of this anti-data
Oh, they're funding a lot of it. Yes.
And people just don't. They just shoot from the hip. They don't sit down and do this research. We have to keep ahead of China with AI, and this is the way it has to be done.
Well, it's
and
actually, Bill, it's an extraordinary opportunity for when people want to do something and stand to make billions and billions of dollars across the country to reinforce and reinvigorate our power grid and making that part of the condition for the construction of these facilities. And we need both. We need both. I just don't know that we need them in Archibald, just for example, or near near neighborhoods. I don't think so. So,
yeah, I agree with you on that as well. But like you said, it's absolutely necessary for the safety of our country against competitors. So, it's got to be. The other thing I was wondering, I've been listening. Rob Bresnahan's finally fighting back against Paige Cognetti.
Yes.
And how do you think he's doing?
Oh, I think he's doing well. See, there's no there for Paige. And at some point, you could put some guy on that claims he voted for Trump 3 times, but Paige Cognetti's different. People don't fall for bullspit over a sustained period of time. And here's Rob Bresnahan with the Secretary of Transportation in tow, handing out money like it's candy. And this is a big deal. This is, he's just doing an incredible job and has given himself a remarkable power base in Washington, D.C., something I haven't seen in a freshman congressman ever.
Yeah, he really works hard. But you're talking about that guy that voted for Trump 3 times. After listening to him, I'm more inclined to vote for. Well, I am voting for Rob, but it gives everybody an excuse. If that idiot can come on and say that, I mean, that's an incentive for everybody else.
It's like, do you choose to be ignorant and then you choose to display your ignorance? I live in Scranton. I know what kind of horrible mayor she is. It's a disaster.
See, that's another thing. A lot of people like to remember what it was to be a coal cracker. I mean, and Rob's a coal cracker. She's a Oregon liberal, and I think he should tout that coal cracker mentality that bonds us together. That's unique to our area.
And it's a work ethic. It's a way to live. It's a toughness that she does not share with us and never, ever will. She's a stranger. And on top of her incompetence, she's a left-wing lunatic. She's in on everything. She's got one of these, I don't know if he was a doctor, but this scumbag named Goldman had her to his house in Ballackinwood for a fundraiser because she is all for mutilating children with gender dysphoria. She's in on every left-wing lunatic agenda item that there is. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, and Rob did touch on that, one of his commercials where they show her past, but I think he should tackle them a little bit more specifically, like you just did, that, he could come out and say, she's for mutilating babies. And if there is a debate, and I'm hoping there's a debate, he should ask her, will you vote to get rid of ICE? Will you support children getting butchered by doctors?
Well, don't forget though, Bill, that what these people do, what the Page Cognettis of the world do, is they practice taqiyya, which is the Islamist deal. If it advances the agenda of Islam, we lie. She will do the same thing. She'll lie without thinking twice about it, just like the governor of Virginia, just like the governor of New Jersey. They will lie and then do the exact opposite. So I don't know if you're going to get clarification in the campaign because she'll lie. I mean, if you're willing to lie about Rob Bresnahan's record, if you're willing to lie about your own record, you're willing to lie about anything to win.
Exactly. And here's the caveat. You would ask her, are you for these things? And you'd finish it off by, if you do perhaps get elected, if you sponsor those things, will you resign for lying to the people?
Lying doesn't bother her one bit.
No, but it bothers people.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, my man. Thank you so much, Bill. Always a pleasure. Somebody said, texted in, well, not somebody, Pinebrook Johnny, who is delusional. Pinebrook Johnny, you're in a coma. I want to wake you up out of the coma. Remember, this is idiot medicine here. Please listen. And I don't mean hear and get triggered by specific words. I mean actually listen. But he says Bresnan is getting pounded in the latest poll. The only poll that I saw was 45-43 Page Cognetti. And with all the negative ads, $10 million in negative ads and lies about Rob, now that he's starting his campaign on the air, I think that's a great place to be. Yeah. Cabinet guy says, echoing what I'm saying, I never believe the commercials and flyers that come out. Only idiots believe them. Yep. And only idiots are on them. Let's go to Paul from Hazleton. Paul, how are you?
Good. So has Page ever been indicted or arrested?
No.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
How about
where?
it? Are ethics important to you?
Yes.
Okay, explain more. Give me an.
Why is that all, Paul? Is that all you got? That I'm a felon? That's all you got? You're that stupid?
No, I'm talking about. No, I'm not.
That's it.
don't belittle me.
I
Don't
will belittle
me.
you
I'm
because
a
you're
Republican.
dumb. You're dumb. You sound
I'm
dumb.
actually a Republican.
You sound
seriously,
dumb.
come on.
Oh, you're another
Ethics,
run of these fake Republicans. Oh, great.
Brother.
All right, was
Enjoy your indictment.
was
Enjoy
Rob
your
ever
indictment.
was Rob
You're a crook.
ever indicted for anything? See, they run like little girls because they've got nothing to defend themselves for supporting Paige Cognetti. They've got nothing, and they'll say, "Oh, they're from Hazleton." It's just, you know what? The thing that captured everything about this Bresnahan versus Cognetti campaign was that Chelsea Bresnahan called in here, used her own name, said who she was, and then talked. Paige Cognetti's husband calls. His name is Ryan. He calls himself Tom. He pretends he's somebody else to call in about issues. That captures it all. And by the way, Mr. Paul pointed this out to me, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's important to note. Do you remember I called her Mayor many names? Paige Cognetti, Gebhardt, blah, 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 blah. Well, apparently, as pretentious as she is for using her maiden name as her middle name, which is still on the sign going into Scranton on the sickening Biden Expressway that she helped bring us, her only accomplishment, by the way. So where did the Gebhardt go? Why was that dropped? To try to pretend that she's from here? What was that about? Seriously, she's pretentious enough to have the name, but cowardly enough to get rid of her own name in the campaign. She's no longer Paige Gebhardt Cognetti. What is that all about? It is all so phony. It is ridiculous. That's what it is. Phoniness and lies. And there's one of her supporters, Paul from Hazleton. God knows where he's from. We'll be back. For my cousin Jude, Tommy Portnova. The Beatles, this date 1968, they released their hit single, Hey Jude, which would be their longest number one hit, which is saying something, isn't it? Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Somebody texted, at least Paige isn't involved in insider trading. Well, see, you're too stupid to know that she's a liar. Rob Bresnahan is not involved in insider trading. You're lying. You've been lied to, and you're repeating the lie. What does that make you? It's really incredible. It's truly incredible. And to me, what makes you want to believe that lie so that you could somehow support an insane person, a left-wing lunatic, a socialist communist for U.S. Congress against Rob Bresnahan? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Unless you're, and by the way, and if you're for these left-wing policies that have failed every single time they've been instituted in every country, in every culture, how dumb can you be? Seriously. It's insane. Somebody texts in, just drove by the PSEA, Pennsylvania State Education Association office on 315 Plains Township. Must be at least 20 Paige Cognetti signs. Well, there it is. The PSEAA, horrible left-wing union, steal the teachers' money and use it for their agenda. Paige Cognetti is the one who voted to fire teachers in the Scranton School District. But see, they don't care because it's about an agenda other than teachers. Just what I was telling you. It's unbelievable. Somebody texted, the paper's so bad, it ran the same letter to the editor against Bresnahan 2 days in a row from a fake Republican, LTS. It's so awful. It's an embarrassment. And here's how bad they are. They're not embarrassed for themselves. Now, I won't use the last name, but somebody checked in. Pinebrook Johnny is a guy named Brian using my name and neighborhood. He's a left-wing lunatic from West Scranton that wants to put out his brainwashed nonsense and is afraid to put his name behind it. I'm the only Pinebrook Johnny, and I'm proudly voting for Bresnahan. I am so happy you did this and told me and informed me. Because Pinebrook, to me, salt of the earth and common sense and not blind to any nonsense. So thank you, Pinebrook. Real Pinebrook Johnny. Thank you so much. And you're right, they're phonies. They're absolutely phony. Joe from Trips Park, insider trading is illegal. People believing these commercials to ban are just letting us know how uninformed they are. 2 seconds of research, folks. I know it. You're right, Joe. I don't get it. Why do you want to be an ass who is fooled by liars? I don't get it. I really don't. By the way, let the true facts be your guide and then make your decision. They don't even do that. They're so insecure about their decision to support Paige Cognetti that they have to follow the lies. And Paige Cognetti has no record. She's going to pursue a left-wing lunatic agenda on every front. The Soros family didn't give her max contributions because she loves America. My God, it's unbelievable. It's really something. Yeah, and somebody says, why doesn't Paige file an ethics complaint so Rob could be arrested for insider trading? Yeah, exactly. She's a liar. It's her commercials are the lowest form of slime I've seen in a long time. They really are. Because they get personal. If you lie about issues, you say, well, all right. I hate it. But lying about a person's record, it's reprehensible. She's a disgrace as mayor and as a congressional candidate. And she's lying to you. She's lying to you about her agenda. As Mr. Paul pointed out to me, just remember this. You've only got one voice in Washington. That's your congressperson. Do you want to elect a liar? Someone who's lying to you, who's going to do everything different in concert with the left-wing lunatics, the Communist Party, everything different once they get there. Really? Somebody says at this rate, Paige Cagnetti might start running ads to ban murder as if it's not illegal in the first place. I'm sure people will believe that too. Yeah, especially Bill from Scranton, Mr. Trump voter. Oh my God almighty. It's unreal. It's unreal. The level of ignorance, willful ignorance, by the way. I'm one who believes nobody's actually stupid unless they willfully choose to be. And some people do. And they vote Dummycrat. And they vote for people like Paige. Unreal. We'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute this hour, as with every hour, this day is with every day. Brought to you by our man, John Basiliga. And we feature on Wednesdays as we start to head towards the weekend. And Wednesday's not a bad night to go out either. We feature Basiliga Hospitality Group. We mentioned the Old Brook Inn, the Far Street Tavern, the Queen City Tavern in our first hour. We mentioned Coney Island Lunch coming in September. But fine dining is really at the top of the charts. A Terra 519, one of the most beautiful restaurants you will ever go into. One of the most amazing dining experience. With Chef Alex Diaz, they've got a number of affordable options. And I just love to go hang out. A Terra 519. on Linden Street, downtown Scranton. The Stegmeyer Mansion, an old world take on the same luxurious experience and the same affordable options right on South Franklin Street in Wilkes-Barre. Amazing two restaurants. They're experiences, not just places to eat and drink. John Jack Zelinka. He was 78 when we lost him August 5th. He was from Ashley. Graduate of Ashley High School, class of 66. Jack joined the U.S. Air Force, where he served on active duty for 4 years, stationed at Mather Air Force Base, California. His time in the Air Force also included a deployment to Vietnam, where he was stationed at Da Nang Air Base. After leaving active duty with the Air Force, Jack served for over 20 years with the U.S. Army Reserve's 300 Field Hospital. He also worked at Technoglass as a machinist for over 30 years until it closed in 2004. He was then employed with the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, working at Francis Slocum State Park for 8 years until fully retiring in 2013. Following retirement, he enjoyed the simple things in life, like hanging out in the garage, watching his tomato plants, flea markets, used book sales, historical military novels. He enjoyed planning annual visits to NFL preseason training camps, as well as visits to historical sites. He loved the Army-Navy game. Go Army. How about that for an Air Force guy? Jack was a longtime member of the Catholic War Veterans in Ashley, post commander for 3 years. Also a member of the American Legion Post in Ashley, the AMVETS Post in Hanover Township, and the VFW Post in Kingston. Jack was a member of Our Lady of Hope Parish, Wilkes-Barre. Jack Zelinka is survived by his wife of 57 years, Marie Gallagher Zelinka, his 3 children, his sister, his 5 grandchildren, and many other family members and a slew of friends. Jack Zelinka, our veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast, and it's another amazing water park week at Montage. Today, mostly sunny, high 82. If that's all you have to say, you know it's a beautiful day. Tonight, partly cloudy down to 65. Tomorrow, Thursday, mostly cloudy and humid with a thunderstorm in parts of the area, high 80, low 64. Friday, clouds yielding some sun. Thunderstorm in parts of the area as well. Humid, high 82, low 56. Saturday, less humid with sunshine, few clouds. A beautiful start to the weekend, high 79, low 58. Well, AccuWeather starts their weekend on Saturday. I started earlier. Sunday, humid with sunshine and a few clouds, high 80, low 66. And that's your weather, brought to you by the great gang at Montage Mountain. Another beautiful water park week, and it's 72 degrees right now at Montage Mountain. You know we had to wait till that. Murph tells us this date, 1969. Elvis released his hit Suspicious Minds. And we heard Dolly with a little repartee with the great Johnny Carson. A couple of texts I want to get to. Look at the upside of what the mayor is doing in Scranton. Homicide is up, rape is up, robbery is up, taxes are up, potholes are up. Should call her mayor up. And another text at Bob LTS, back at you. All one needs to look at where Paige Cognetti's money came from. It didn't come from the good people of Pine Brook, Manuka, or Bull's Head. It came from California. Hundreds of thousands of dollars from coastal elites. She's a left-wing loon who will govern as such, says the lawnmower guy. And he knows what he's talking about. Somebody else, I believe, taking a campaign contribution from an institution, then purchasing an unneeded building from said institution, and you have a family member on said institution's board, which is all proved, is far worse than made-up insider trading allegations. ALTS. ALTS back at you. Somebody else, LTS, Bob. LTS back at you. Love the clip of Johnny and Dolly. Boy, did he get away with things back then. I miss those days. Well, because he wasn't talking about idiotic left-wing politics. Let's go to Rob from Jessup. Hey, Rob, how are you, man? Rob, you with us, brother?
Bob, is it Rob or Ron? I'm Ron.
Oh, it says Rob. I apologize. Hey, Ron. That's the bulldog. He's got sausage fingers. He might have missed the letter there.
All right. Well, anyhow, I want to make 2 points. You ever watch that show, the Washington Journal on C-SPAN? It's Fair and Balanced. And they have guests on.
For the most part, yes.
James Carville was the guest. So he goes, next call, Republican line. And this lady starts talking. I go, boy, she got a European accent. Mr. Carville, I immigrated to this country in 1984 from the Soviet Union. And I'll tell you what, you're lying about the Democrats. They've been doing what Nikita Khrushchev wanted to do. He said, we're going to give you small doses of socialism for the next 60 years, and one day you'll be living under communism. So, and that's the truth. But here's another point I want to make.
Well, it's the old story about the frog in the water. You warm it up slowly, and eventually he burns. you know?
But anyhow, there's got to be some people living in this part of the state that emigrated from communist country. I really wish they would call in, and they'll explain to some of your left-wingers out there how bad it is. But
and the thing is, Ron, it's how crazy it is. They know it doesn't work, and yet they promote it anyway. So you say, well, all right, it's failed everywhere it's been tried. Why are they for it? Well, because it gives them more power and more importance and more control over your life. And that's what they live for. It's insane.
Now, I'm a hardliner, and I watch Newsmax and Fox, even News Nation. They're all guilty of the same thing. They keep using the term more moderate Democrats.
Yeah, who are they?
When I called you a couple of weeks ago, I said a moderate Democrat is equivalent to John F. Kennedy, which there is none. I wish they'd stop saying that. It drives me nuts.
And as I keep saying on the show, find me the daylight between the communists and the Democrat leadership. Find me the difference between Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, and this clown Al-Sayed in Michigan. Please find it for me. There is no difference.
And Holka Rahana, too. He's trying to say, well, I'm a moderate. Yeah, right. And I'm Roger Rabbit then.
You know it, brother. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it, brother.
But just one thing about Paige Cognetti. She's a female version of Gavin Newsom, a born liar.
Yeah, that's what I see. And she proves it every day. She proves it with
Yep.
every commercial. She proves it with all the people she takes contributions from. She proves it. It's sad.
And I'm a customer of a few places in Scranton. I'll be down there September 3rd. I'm going to ride my motorcycle through the city, and I have to be very careful. I've been driving bikes for 50 years.
Yes.
The roads are uneven and potholes are dangerous for motorcyclists.
I know. Be very careful, Ron. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. That's a great song. Looking Glass. Murph tells us this date, 1972, they had their only number one hit, one more than I did, with Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Rick Bigelow lets us know the Spruce Goose was moved to the North American Aviation Museum in McKinville, Oregon in the mid-1990s. I was living in L.A. in, what was it? It was either 85 or 86 that I went to see the Spruce Goose down at Long Beach. So when I mention these years, I don't know about you guys, but they seem like yesterday. And yet they're 40 and 50 years ago. It's actually stunning. David Harris Jr., who I follow on Instagram, he points this out. There was a vote on the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. I just want you to know this. This is important. Republicans in the House trying to keep men out of girls' sports and locker rooms and all that. 216 yes, 0 no. Democrats, only two Democrats voted for it. 206 people, 206 Democrats voted against the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. And Mr. Harris says, imagine being the party that accuses the other party of hating women and then voting against women. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. This is your Democrat Party. They need multiple spankings at the ballot box by all of us, the normal people, so that we could get a real Democrat Party back again. It's a sickening disgrace. Unbelievable. Bob, somebody texts in, the socialists like Cognetti know that socialism doesn't work for the people, but they know that socialism works for the ones in power. I'm praying that the voters do the right thing and vote against these socialist commie dummycrats, says Chaz from Greenfield. You're right. Someone else, riddle me this. Always think of Burgess Meredith on the Batman show. Riddle me this, Batman. Was it him? I don't even. Who was the Riddler? No, that was was that Frank Gorshin? Okay, anyway. Who had the ribbon cutting in October for a splash pad, then opened and said splash pad 2 weeks before kids were returned to school? Comrade Cognetti. Yep. Somebody says, if you support Cognetti, ask yourself why she has to go to places like Chicago and Philly to raise $3.3 million to just represent the people of Northeast PA. Yup. Ed from Nanaco texts in. This is something to remember. And we've got to do the Biden banner disgrace. But please remember this, guys. He says, LTS, back at you. He says, if I missed it, I'm sorry. But today's the 5-year anniversary that Joe Biden ran coward and killed 13 soldiers when leaving Afghanistan. Yup, he did. Sickening. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Oh, no, we're not taking a break. What am I saying, Bulldog? I'm looking at Dolly Parton and I got thrown off. My apologies. Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. So 206-2, the Democrats. And then, by the way, the Republican Party is no great shakes. It's just more normal. 206 versus 2 voted against the protection of women and girls in sports. How insane can you get? How insane? And this is what they do. And by the way, she's in on the whole package, the entire package, Cognetti is. So you get the incompetence, you get the corruption, and you get the lunacy. She's a 3-in-1. Oh no, cabinet guy texting. He says, you played the clip about women's suffrage and how long it took. And now they are all in for Sharia law. These Democrat women are nuts. I didn't see this because I'm not a TikTok regular. I'm on TikTok because when people send me stuff from TikTok, I want to be able to open it. But this is Bob. These liberals are bad on TikTok, saying they took the wrong person, meaning Trump instead of Dolly. It's sickening. Oh Lord. By the way, I was in the hallway. I meant to bring this up. I was in the hallway, and I was asking people like Brian Hughes and the Bulldog and others. I'm saying, well, have EJ? I said, do you know any Tyler, our traffic guy? Does anybody know anyone who hated Dolly Parton? No one could even hazard a guess. Isn't that great? I know I can't say that about myself, but my gosh, isn't that great? And she had a public career for, 50 years and universally beloved. 11 o'clock on my Ricardo's watch. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Great. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful Wednesday, August 26th, year of our Lord 2026, 11:05 on my Picardo Jewelers watch. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor, with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John, like Joseph Kilcullen of Scranton, David Mason of Peckville, Sam Restagno of Luzerne, but formerly of Pittston, and Jack Zelinka of Ashley. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order, today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense after that brief news adjournment, promising you that our unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. And a new announcement. We're so excited about this. The FDA has approved the Bob Cordaro Show as idiot medicine. Yes, indeed. It is your proven cure for idiocy. There are no known side effects. Well, negative side effects. There's side effects. You learn more, you know more, you live better, you're happier, you're more relaxed. All of that. It's a great thing. Somebody says, yes, Bob, about Dolly. That's what happens when you're nice and treat people with dignity and respect. She was just so nice. Somebody texting in also, Bob, I cannot see how this will end well, this division of our country. When I hear the idiocy of these Dems, I want to scream. Do they know what is coming if we don't get smart and sensible? Great show, LTS from Mountaintop. LTS back at you. Another texter, when the soldiers were killed in Afghanistan, the WILK morning show's top story was who has the cleanest bathrooms in the restaurants in Scranton. Somebody said, as far as I could tell, there's only one person who hated Dolly Parton, Jolene. Yeah, very good. Another, hey, Bob, LTS, I could listen to you all day. What would be interesting is to know how many of these Dumbocrats that voted not to protect girls have daughters. It goes to show how far gone these people are. Political ambitions before their own flesh and blood. Sickening, says Jim from Browndale. You're right, Jim. It's disgusting. I don't get it. What is in it for you? I mean, do you think you're going to be on the upper echelon of the government cadre so that you could tell people what to do and then you could be a bully? Maybe you got bullied when you were younger? Dear Lord, it's frightening. The level of ignorance and stupidity is breathtaking. I just don't know. By the way, Meta, which is Facebook, they settled a lawsuit with 29 states. It accused the tech giant of engineering addictive products for teens. Now, I have been suspicious of this forever. Now, by the way, Meta agreed to pay up to $17 billion to settle the lawsuit. Whatever. That's their choice. It's their money. I don't own the stock. Whatever. But I want you to ask this. Are parents so weak that they blame the whatever program, the app, whatever you want to call it, for their children's behavior instead of controlling their children's behavior? Isn't it their responsibility? I really don't get this. If I'm creating a product, I don't care if it's candy or gum or Facebook. Don't I want people to feel they need it? Isn't that part of the game? And it's like, I don't know, in my day when you wanted too much candy, the parents would take it away from you. They didn't say, oh, that damn candy maker. I don't get this. I'm telling you, what are we headed to? And you have these weak-ass companies that won't stand up for anything. Now, they made a business decision. That's their right. It's their company. It's their money. It's their shareholders, all of that. But where did we get to? Where are we at? That a company that makes a product that they want you to feel you need has done something wrong. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Let's go to Donald from Pittston. He's been patient. Hi, Donald.
Okay, I got some information. I figured out about this gender operation deal here. That's why Mickey Sherrill of New Jersey passed a law that you can't prosecute the doctors, take their licenses.
Dear God.
Now, listen, this is all called.
And Paige Cognetti's taking money from.
This is so interesting. It goes back to Obamacare and the subsidies. That's why they shut the government down. Now, I'll explain it to you, and you'll realize I'm right. The trial lawyers would always donate to the Democratic Party. There's no doubt about it because they want to hire settlement stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a gender operation is $1 million long term, like the Washington Examiner said. An abortion is only $700-800. So the plaintiff now that the insurance company's in bed with the Democratic Party, there's no worth of summons or I have to go after them with a worth of summons or a deposition. They become the plaintiff, the insurance company. So they'll say, okay, we'll let the doctor approve the operation on the child because we'll be subsidized $1 million by Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. There's no other way around it. So this way, now they got the doctors in their pocket because the doctors will be funneling that money back to the Democratic Party for donations, just like the trial lawyers do. Well,
that's how Paige went to Ballot Kinwood and raised money from people who were interested in mutilating children. And she's all in.
That's the issue, Bob. Listen, I know gas is high. I know, but once you started to get out there, the Republicans, I'm telling you, I told you this was the issue 4 years ago. No one believed me. They said, you want Cordaro insane. Don't want to do that.
Yep.
Now they realize that, hey, they apologized to me. You were Bob, were right. They shake my hand down. He was wondering why you went over with him. Yeah, they're doing this. That's why they want to do this. This way they can funnel the subsidies from Obamacare. That's why Trump's against it. Back to the Democratic Party. And that's what it's all about. That Obamacare was a flaw. Too many flaws in it.
And by the way, 5,500 proven gender mutilation procedures in our hospitals last year.
And why would Mickey Schiller do that? She obviously. Oh, now I forget about that state. They said it was like 35,000 on the rolls. Dr. Steve Turley. Never mind 6,600.
Well, there's pharmacological also. It's insane.
Yeah, with the voters.
Yep.
And not only that, if you think that I don't want to get messed with subject real quick. If you think 6,600 don't matter, Gore lost by 537 to Bush in Florida, the presidency. So you got to get the voter rolls cleared up too, so we don't have these crazy, insane policies. I'm all for health care like you, but not for this is nonsense. And this will be the issue, I promise you, because people are starting to pay attention, and that's why the numbers across even in Michigan and all over. With this doctor, he was exposed on Jesse Waters about this mutilation. They're trying to get around it.
He's a non-practicing doctor because he's rich. And
right.
So he's going to pull the ladder up. Nobody else can make money. Yeah.
This is mutilation, Bob. You got to hit the nail. We know what it is.
Done.
This is their own way I don't know why they're doing it. To me, it's just a satanic sacrifice.
It's evil.
But
evil.
But if a governor would actually block it for the doctor to let them go on and do it, she's horrible, this Mickey Shirley. She'd be ashamed of herself.
Well, that's our Page, too. Page is from the same book.
That's what I'm saying. That's what hurts
Donald.
Me, you know?
All right,
I can't believe she would do something like that.
Disgraceful.
With money trail.
Disgraceful. Thank you, Donald. Ray from Pittston, how are you?
Not bad, Bob. I need you to help me out with something here. I keep hearing Medicare for all. Here's my question. I'm retired. I pay over $200 a month for Medicare.
Yep.
If they decide somehow to put Medicare for all, and if a lot of these people, if they're low income, and I'm not picking on them, to an example, or Medicaid, and they switch over, are they going to tell me I still got to pay the $200 and some a month, but because they were low income, they won't have to?
Oh no, the guarantee rate, Ray. The guarantee is you'll pay more. It won't be the same. You'll pay way more. They have no idea how they could finance Medicare for all. None.
Well, I'm not paying more. If they say, well, let's fight, well, then I'll be fighting, but I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of millions.
Well, we got to vote. We got to vote because they'll do it. Paige Cognetti will do it. We've got to vote against them. That's what it is. That's who they are right now. It's actually scary.
But if they bring a bunch of people on board and got away with it, that was my question. Are they going to pay? Are they going to say they're low income and they can't, but you just
yes, of course. You know the deal.
No.
You know the deal. You pay, they benefit. It's what they do. It's every Democrat policy you've ever seen. Have you ever seen anything different? Just out of curiosity. Are you aware of a program where Americans don't pay more for people who aren't working and are foreigners? I've never seen it.
No, and it seems like if you work in this country, you get punished, not rewarded.
That's right. You get punished.
I just want more people to wake up to the fact about this Medicare for all, that be prepared to pay a lot more, and then I don't.
Medicare, which is already teetering, would be destroyed if Medicare for all went into place. It'd be destroyed. I'm on Medicare now. It would be destroyed absolutely and completely. And we would be paying way more. Look at what happened with Obamacare. Everybody's paying more for their health insurance. Everybody's paying higher copays. Everybody's paying higher deductibles. And healthcare costs have gone up 300% since Obamacare. No other portion of the economy has gone up that high. But it's Obamacare destroyed it.
Aren't they ever going to dissolve that and just get rid of it?
They don't have the votes. They don't have the votes because there's like John McCain, the only chance they had to get rid of it, John McCain voted against it and ruined it.
Oh.
My man Steve texts into me. He goes, Stevie Z says, if you think healthcare is expensive now, wait till they make it free. That's exactly right. Ray, hold on to our hats and vote. That's what we've got to do.
Yeah, I keep doing that. I hear you, brother.
All right,
man. All right, have
Thank
a good
you.
day.
Okay. Thanks. All right, 11:18. We got to take a break. We'll do that, and we'll come back. Frankie Valli. This date, 1978, Murph tells us he had the #1 hit with his solo Grease from the movie of the same name. David Harris Jr., I told you about him. I follow him on Instagram. He sent a thing. It's got a picture of Bill and Hillary. It says Bill Clinton received about $15 million for his memoir about his life. Hillary Clinton received about $8 million for her memoir, Living History. And that's about $23 million for the memories of two people who testify they can't remember anything. Exactamundo, as they say. My goshes. Let's go to Frank from Wilkes-Barre. Hey, Frank, how are you?
Doing okay. I just wanted, I heard you mention that someone said he wished someone from a communist country, your listeners, how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Syracuse, in a suburb, Mattydale, and in 1959 I was a sixth grader at Mattydale Elementary, and in January we had this new kid come into our classroom. He was 2 years older than we were, and come to find out, his name was Anthony Michkowski. His dad had come over from Poland in, I think, 56, 57, and finally he got the ability to bring his wife and Tony over in 1959. So you have to realize, in 1959, there's almost no busing.
Yeah.
So we used to walk back and forth. My house was literally a block and a half from the school. We used to walk to school together, and then, of course, he went on. He got put into the right grade. But in 1964, I was able to get my working papers and get a job, and I got a job at the local grocery store, Lembo's Big M, and lo and behold, here's Anthony Michkowski. He's in charge of the front end. He taught me how to run the cash register and all that. One day on break, I asked him, I said, Tony, what's the one thing you remember, like from the first week or two you were here in the United States? He said, it had to be the day my dad brought Mom and me to Lembo's Big M. She stood, you're not going to believe this, she stood in the doorway 5 or 10 minutes crying because she couldn't remember the last time her store had stocked shelves full of food, meat cases full of food. She said there were days they would have to go stand in line before the store opened, and there might be 10 or 12 slabs of meat in the meat case and a few boxes of this and that on the shelf.
Yeah.
But if you were number 11 in line and there were only 10 slabs of meat, you didn't get meat that day. You had to come back tomorrow. They used to have to line up like our kids do when they line up 3 o'clock in the morning for tickets to go to a rock concert. That's how bad it was. They couldn't get food every day. Like, we just take it for granted. We can walk down to the Shields or Price Chopper or Wegmans, and the shelves are full.
Well, I keep talking, Frank, about this David Harris, who has great posts. And he said, I need someone to help explain this to me. If communism and socialism help the poor, then why are 90% of Cubans and Venezuelans starving and trying to flee to America?
Exactly.
It's insanity.
100%.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, thank you, my man.
I just wanted to pass along the Anthony Michkowski story to you and your listeners. Okay, have a good day.
Appreciate that very much. Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome. Right.
Let's go to Linda from West Pittston. Linda, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Bob. Now, I want to start with Dolly Parton wanted to end illiteracy.
Yes.
Wyoming area no longer has a library. That's number one I wanted to tell you. And number two is it's not called health care anymore. It's called hell care. Because it sucks.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse.
Well, when Obamacare came in, and I watch, my cutie's daughter I watch what she has to go through to get through medical school. And to become a specialist, it's even worse. Oh, and then you're going to come out and not get paid and not be able to pay your student loans back. That's why we're losing a lot of talent. If Obamacare stays in place any longer, we're going to keep seeing a deterioration. And if these people ever have their way, we'll be going to Canada to get treatment.
I hear you.
Unreal.
It is sad. It is sad what this country's come to. And they keep trying to fix things that aren't broken.
Yes.
And that's why this country has gone to hell.
Well, it's savable. It's still savable, but if
these kids,
4 more
they
years,
got rid of home economics and sewing in school for girls, and boys they gave them carpentry and plumbing, and now they can't do anything anymore.
No.
They can't even cursive right. I mean, what is going on?
Because education became indoctrination instead of education. It's crazy.
I'm waiting for the computer to come in and start cleaning my house and cooking for me because I'm getting tired of it.
Well, you pay me the right, Linda. You pay me the right amount of Monday. I might come down and clean.
Nobody wants to work anymore, though. In case you haven't noticed.
Well, I have an easy job, so I can't complain. I can't talk about that. I've seen people work. I know what it looks like.
I know too. But what I'm seeing now is chaos.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Linda. Appreciate it, my dear.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you again soon, I hope. Somebody thinks that Jesse Waters had El Sayad on his show and asked him, does he know how much Medicare for All would cost? He had no clue. Now they're projecting, as this listener says, $4 trillion a year. Okay? $4 trillion. And if that's what they're projecting, it's double. It's double. Somebody thinks in Bob with Dolly Parton, popularity. She was asked about running for president. Her reply, there's enough big boobs in politics, said Joe from 4040. That's why she was America's sweetheart. That's for sure. 11:30 on my Picardo's Watch. We'll take a break. We will come back. Veterans Tribute, the weather, and as I always love to say, and more. Our Veterans Tribute this hour, as with every hour, and this day as with every day, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. And consists of the Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, The Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the great Trips Park section of West Scranton. The Queen City Tavern on the main drag in downtown Oliphant. The Stegmeyer Mansion, one of the most amazing fine dining experiences with tons of affordable options. And a Terra 519, a modern take on the same amazing experience. And I've got to tell you, I'm a Carpaccio fan. And I had beef Carpaccio last Friday. I've never had better. Chef Alex Diaz is making it happen at a Terra. David Mason, he was 80. We lost him August 12th. He was from Peckville. His wife of 58 years is the former Palmina Tirano. They would have celebrated their 59th wedding anniversary October 26th. David was born in Peckville, a graduate of Blakely High School, class of 63, and the University of Scranton, where he graduated cum laude with a bachelor's degree in accounting. He was a graduate of the Simmons Institute of Mortuary Science in Syracuse. He proudly served in the United States Navy overseas, off the coast of Vietnam, during that war. A kind and caring man and a loving husband, father, brother, and uncle. He loved driving in the countryside in his convertible, riding his bike on the Lackawanna Heritage Trail, and a lot of other simple pleasures. Member of the Blakely Baptist Church, where he was a deacon, a trustee, a lector, and a member of the choir, as well as treasurer. He was secretary of the Lackawanna County Funeral Directors Association, a great gang. He was a member of Veterans of Foreign Wars, Shoppa Davy, Post Peckville, and the American Legion, Pearson Hurd, also in Peckville. In addition to his wife surviving, his son, Brian, his wife, Stephanie, and many other family members, great nieces, cousins, all of that. Tragically, David Mason was preceded in death by his infant son, David Michael Mason. Sam Restagno. He was 84 when we lost him August 4th. He was from Luzerne, but he grew up and lived in Pittston most of his life. He fought a courageous battle with lung cancer, succumbing on August 4th. He was a member of the Pittston High School class of 1960 and served all of us in the Pennsylvania National Guard from 1960 to 62. Along with his family, he owned and operated Restagno's Grocery at South Main Street, Pittston for many years. He was preceded in death by a brother, Michael, a son, Anthony, terrible, a daughter, Renee, grandson, Michael, survived by his wife, Florence Galley Restagno, 4 children, 7 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren. His family says Sam lived a big, bold, beautiful life on his own terms. He always said, "I lived my life my way." And he asked that the following lyrics from Frank Sinatra's song be included in his obituary, as this was how he lived. And they say, so here's to you, Sam. And now the end is near, and I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than that. I did it my way. Rest in peace, Sam. Sam Restagno. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the gang up at Montage, where the water park is still kicking it. And it's perfect water park week. Today, maybe the best of all, mostly sunny, high 82, and you're only a few minutes away. This is no overnight trip. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 65. Tomorrow, Thursday, mostly cloudy and humid. Possible thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 80, another warm day, low 64. Friday, clouds yielding to some sun with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. Humid, high 82, low 56. Saturday, less humid with sunshine. few clouds, a beautiful start to the weekend, 79 degrees, low 58. Sunday, humid with sunshine and a few clouds, high 80, low 66. And that's a great weather report from Montage and AccuWeather, letting you know it's another beautiful water park week. 74 at Montage right now. We lost that song somehow. Anyway, that was Murph Tells Us. Stevie Ray Vaughan performing at Alpine Valley Music Theater, East Troy, Wisconsin, August 26, 1990. Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy, Robert Cray, and Jimmy Vaughan joined Stevie on stage for his encore. The next morning, Stevie was killed in a helicopter crash. That's his last performance. The great encore and the last song he'd ever played was Sweet Home Chicago. Bob Cordaro back on the program. Let's go right to the blower. We got John from Tunkanik being in Poland in 1979. How are you, John?
Good. Greetings, Bob. I happen to be a pastor of a church, and I traveled to Poland in 1979. I was speaking in New Jersey in some of the Polish churches, and a gentleman from Poland invited me to go. His name was Joseph Bolaczynski. And I went in Gdansk, which is way up in the northern part of Poland. So I went, I traveled all over Poland, sharing the gospel in the churches from north to south to east. And I brought Russian Bibles with me because they asked me to bring Russian Bibles because the Russians could not have Bibles. They would smuggle Bibles up to them. One of the overwhelming things I remember was going in the grocery store, and there'd be 3, 4 items for sale, and the cupboards would be mostly empty, and there would be a sign, fish would come here on Thursday, apples would be here on Monday. They were kept at a point of starvation by the communist socialists, so they were not able to revolt because they couldn't have the strength to revolt. They were kept at a point of starvation. And anybody who believes that socialism or communism will work is insane. And I thank
Why
God
are
that
they
you get
this
to test-
dumb, though? I mean, John, it's just it's.
I don't.
It's not hard to learn this, that they're lying to you, that it doesn't work. History's replete with the fact that communism and socialism are massive failures, that they're horrible. I don't get it.
They are horrible. I think Solomon said it better, since we can quote some scriptures here yet. Solomon said it the best. He said that men will be blind so that they don't have to discover how evil their hearts are. And I think that's a reality there. And I thank God that today in Poland, they say we don't let Muslims in. We don't need them. We have the lowest unemployment, the best GDP in all of Europe, and we do not want Muslims. They don't want socialism, and it doesn't work. And to every Democrat out there, become an independent. Don't vote, but whatever it takes, stop being stupid. And stop believing the press about all the bad stuff about Trump. He's not as bad as it's made out to be. He may be rough around the edges, but he is at least standing for America.
Well, I just got sent a meme by David Harris, Jr., who I follow on Instagram. It says, a reminder, Joe Biden let 13 troops fall and die in Afghanistan. Trump moved mountains to bring one pilot home. Biden left a Marine for 4 years in a Russian gulag, and Trump brought him home. What else do you need to say? It's crazy.
What else do you need to say?
Amen.
And people don't understand, like, when you take the belief of God and faith out and you replace it with a false idol called a government, it never, ever works. We need the mercy of the Lord Jesus Christ. We need the power of God in our lives, and we need to lovingly love our God, who came and died on the cross for us, became flesh, died upon the cross for us, and who gives us the wonderful word of God, the Bible, for us to learn how to live our lives to his honor and glory. Atheism, socialist atheism, communism doesn't work in Cuba, doesn't work in Venezuela, didn't work in Poland, and now you see in Poland today, they've broken away from that, and they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Smarter than us. They're probably making American jokes instead of Polish jokes.
Well, we just got to get out and vote. That's what we got to do. There's more of us normies.
Everybody, get out and vote. And if you can't vote for Republican, then just stay home and don't vote.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. All right, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll come back with some calls and more, and I'm finishing with Dolly Parton. One headlight. This date, 1996, Murph tells us the Wallflowers were moving up the charts with their hit. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Mother Teresa, St. Teresa for August 26th. She says, each one of us is merely a small instrument. All of us, after accomplishing our mission, will disappear. The only question is, will you collaborate with God so he can use you to do his work here on earth? Well, St. Teresa, you certainly did. And thank you, Mary Jean. And thank you for reminding me. Almost blew it there. Almost blew it. Hey, let's go to the blower. We got Frank from Scranton. Frank, how are you?
Hey, Bob. Second time I called you. I'm an Army vet. I called before.
Love it.
LTS, real quick. I was in Germany in 1987 in the United States Army from Fort Hood, Texas. Reforger stands for Returned Forces to Germany when the communists ever decided to act up. So we got everything together, and we used to drive through town to town in Germany in Dusenhaft. And here's what stuck with me, and I've been out of the Army for 40-some years now. Here's what stuck with me real quickly. All the young kids, the long-haired guys, were throwing beer bottles and giving us the finger on our convoys, right? But all of the men and women, older men and women, had all American flags waving and cheering us. The lesson is, Bob, it only takes a few generations to forget.
Yeah.
But same thing was going on with communism and socialism in this country. Those youngsters didn't care about Nazi Germany or anything.
No.
They never lived through it.
That is actually a perfect analogy for what is going on. They forgot or never knew, and they didn't care, and they acted on lies. Unbelievable.
That's right, brother.
You know it,
Brother,
Frank.
have a good week.
Thank you, man. You
Take
too.
care.
Appreciate it. Let's go to Jim from Harding on Dolly Parton. How are you, Jim?
I'll make it quick. Back in 1976, I was stationed in Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, and I went to see her in concert when she was 30 years old.
Really? Was she
Yes,
famous
she had the big
then?
wig, that orange suit, and she wasn't on top of the ticket. She opened for Willie Nelson.
Wow.
It was an amazing concert, but I don't know if you ever heard that other song they just got out, Son of Jolene.
No, never heard of it.
Go online and say Son of she and this Bella sings it. It's the Son of Jolene. It's a phenomenal song just out. Like whenever you got time, go on the computer, look. And they actually have a video of Dolly and that Bella singing it together. I would say this is going to be my favorite Dolly Parton song.
Jim, let me ask you, when you saw her back then, did you see greatness, or was it just part of the show, waiting for Willie Nelson?
I was so much in love with her. The one, a couple of my friends that I was in the military got me one of those Dolly Parton dolls, like those little Barbie dolls and all.
Yeah.
And all.
That's hilarious.
Well, she was amazing. She was, in my opinion.
Well,
and then, look at Trump is having the flag at half-mast for a week.
Oh, good for them. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. All right, man. Appreciate it, Jim. Thank you. And so happy you got to see her.
Okay, bye.
All right, I know I never did. We're going to finish with her. And we want to thank Roach Supply for bringing us the live stream here on YouTube. Bob Cordaro Show, WILK. Roach Supply, the premier bath and kitchen supplier in Northeast PA. 75 years in business because they're great. Visit roachsupply.com today, ROCHE. And thanks to Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International, Naples, Florida. She is your trusted guide to Florida real estate, specializing in Southwest Florida. And you could reach her at Tina Morocco, MURACCO.com, or any social media under Tina Morocco, or through Sotheby's in Naples. We're finishing with I Have Always Loved You, not a cover song for her. Murph had texted in about this, and it really is great because she had a beautiful voice. But I Will Always Love You, Colonel Tom Parker wanted to buy it for Elvis to record. they wouldn't, but eventually let Whitney Houston record it. And here she is finishing up, and we'll let her finish up. Guys, have a great afternoon. God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow morning at 9. God bless Dolly Parton. God bless our man, Joe Barna. Have a great afternoon. But for now, Club for Common Sense adjourned.